5 crucial mistakes men make when texting. Mistake number 1, giving up. What do I mean by that? So, a lot of guys in this scene, well, most guys in this scene, all guys in this scene, you all know that you don't want to be the loser who's running around after a woman when she's lost interest, blah, 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 blah. However, men take this a step too far, right? And then what they will do is that once a conversation dies with a woman or once she stops responding, they assume that it's done and that it's over and they just stop altogether. And that's a very, very, very bad mindset to have because here's the truth. The truth is this. Any woman you're messaging, provided she is at least a 6 out of 10 in terms of looks, if she's at least 6 out of 10, she has men in her inbox. She does. She has other men in her inbox. She's got female friends. She's got male friends. She's got family. She's got a job. She has a lot of stuff going on. And the simple fact is that you care way more about her than she cares about you. That is honestly the truth. The average woman looks at men as being as a kind of a disposable resource. This is something I've been saying for years. I've been saying for years that women look at men the way men look at porn. What do I mean by that? This is what I mean. You're on Pornhub, right? And you're looking for stuff to jerk to. And there's so much stuff there that you look for the absolute most perfect video to get your rocks off, don't you? Because you can't come to any old rubbish. It needs to be perfect. That's what women are like when men are concerned. And the point is that she's got so much male attention going on and there's so many men vying for her time. She's probably forgotten to reply. It isn't necessarily that you're this loser and she ain't going to talk to you anymore because how dare you have the cheek to feel like you're worthy of the time of such a divine goddess. It's not that. She just forgot. And if you hit her up again at a later date, you'll probably restart the conversation. Second one is not offering value. And what does that mean? Well, I just said that she's got so much going on because she's a woman and the way society is configured is that men are coming to her. Well, that's very true. Now, what this means is this. You kind of want to be as impactful as possible with your messages. You want her to have a positive experience while she's talking to you. So the truth is that it's not like, say, you're two people and you're going to get to know each other and she's going to ask about you and you're going to ask about her and slowly you're going to learn and whatever. It's not like that at all. You're basically in a marketplace. This marketplace is very competitive. This is the dating marketplace and it's a freaking meritocracy and you got to make her feel good with your messages. You really need to. So that means that you don't want to be sending messages that are boring. You want to be sending messages to her that are going to trigger some kind of emotional response and make her laugh, make her smile, make her giggle, make her feel confused, make her feel aroused. You want to trigger emotions. You want to offer value. So do not send bland, boring messages. Send messages that are designed to make her feel something. Not using social media. So yeah, I did a video on the single greatest thing a man can do to improve his texting. And it's basically this here, right? Using social media and having women see that you're living a cool life. If you are not using social media, you are shooting yourself in the foot because you meet a woman, she meets you. You swap details, boom. You remember, I met this girl. I'm so excited. I met this girl. She doesn't care nearly as much about meeting you as you cared about meeting her. Also, the very moment she walked away from you, she has started to forget how great and amazing you are. Also, she doesn't know if you're worth her time in terms of you being a fun guy, a good guy, successful, whatever. She knows nothing. So when you message her now, she doesn't know who the hell's messaging her. She can't quite remember what you look like and things like this. But she can look at you on IG or Snapchat or whatever and be reminded of how great you are and even have her attraction to you increase by seeing your day-to-day activities and see you doing things like hanging out with other women she respects, maybe women she feels a little bit intimidated by because of their beauty. The odds of her responding to your messages, they literally skyrocket. Like skyrocket. Asking silly and boring questions. So, like I said, you need to offer value. And the thing is that most questions don't offer value. Most questions take value. So if I say to you something like, what do you think of Russia and China? Well, it's a boring question, and she has to go into her mind and she has to ask herself what she feels about Russia and China and what activities Russia and China are engaged in right now. You're way less likely to get a response. What you want to do is make statements. You want to do stuff that offers value. So you might want to send a picture. Send a picture of something cool that you're doing. Send a video of something cool that you're doing. Send a witty comment about your thoughts on Russia and China. Do stuff like that. You basically want to be entertaining and impactful. Now, if you are going to ask a question, there are questions that you can ask, but you want to ask questions that inherently spear her along to have a positive emotional outcome. So, for instance, if you were to say to a woman, tell me something that you really love to do. Tell me something that you absolutely love and adore. The only way she can answer that question is by thinking about stuff that she really loves. And if she really loves the thing, well, she's not going to get bored because she really loves the thing. You know, like if you love Mortal Kombat and someone says, hey, let's talk about Mortal Kombat, you'd be like, yes, let's talk about Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero, Kano, Johnny Cage, Liu Kang. Yeah, amazing. That's what you would think. Same with her. So you want to ask questions. If you're asking a question, ask a question that inherently is interesting and inherently is going to give her an emotional trigger, either because it relates to something that she really likes or maybe something that's controversial. The final deadly mistake that men make when it comes to texting is thinking that there needs to be a constant conversation. What I mean, remember in the days of AOL Messenger or MSN Messenger, if you're fucking old enough, or whatever, or like maybe it's like this on Snapchat with like teenagers. But the point is, you would just chat to people all day, and there's like a constant, unended chat where if you were to go and read the whole thing, it's like the length of Game of Thrones or something like that. And we think that as adults, that's the way it needs to be, but it actually doesn't. So you got to realize that you're living your life and she is living hers. And she doesn't care about her chat nearly as much as you care about your chat with her. But also, you're busy and she's busy. And conversations can fade in and they can fade out. So you might have said something and she didn't reply, but it doesn't mean as like, you're a loser. She actually just didn't reply. She didn't get around to it. Your conversation, they can fade in and they can fade out and they can fade in and they can fade out. In fact, if you look at this right here, right now. So this right here, this is a woman who I matched. This right here is a woman who I matched on an app literally in 2022, like January 2022. And then we messaged a little bit, and then at some point she stopped responding. We didn't talk for a year. Then she messaged me a year later saying she wanted to meet. Now, why did she want to meet? Because she's seen my activities on social media and she's been constantly reminded that I'm a cool guy. And at some point she's like, you know what, I actually need to reach out to this guy. So for the past year, I've been attracting this woman passively, accidentally, just off the back of me being me, without even needing to be directly in front of her. You don't need to have a constant, never-ending conversation. Conversations that can fade in and they can fade out and they can fade in and they can fade out. But if you are constantly trying to have a constant, never-ending conversation, then you run the risk of shooting yourself in the foot, because if you don't have anything clever to say, but you kill yourself trying to say something anyway, even though you haven't got anything clever or interesting to say, now you run the risk of making yourself look like a fool. And the more you do that, the more likely you are to have her ghost you. So if you have nothing interesting to say, if you have nothing clever to say, rather than say some BS, which is going to make her lose interest, say nothing, live your life, come back to it at a later date. That is what you should be doing. And with that, this is the end of this video. Thank you for your time. Book a call with me if you want me to help you address these issues. If you are having problems with your texting and you want to take it to the next level and start getting dates and things like that, book a call with me. There's a link in the description. Chaos is a ladder. Have yourself a great day and goodbye.